Welcome to Crafting with Miss Courtney. I have to say that we have the best crafters in the world, and they also get God. And it's more amazing to see what you all come up with than anything I could start you off. So today, you heard Father Stephen and Father Mark talking about stones. And when I was praying about this crafting session, I thought, Jesus was able to move the hugest boulder out of the way to come out and see Mary Magdalene, and then his apostles and his mother. And then I thought about different size stones, and there's some boulders are so hard to move, but if a tiny pebble is caught in your shoe and you have to walk a long distance, that is just so uncomfortable. So it's so amazing how a big boulder is so huge, a little pebble can hurt you, but most of the stones on our planet fit perfectly in our hand. And so I was wondering about that. And this is what I think. When Jesus came up on Easter, he had suffered on the cross, but yet he was able the next day to move a boulder. And what I feel like he did for us is he shrank the boulder into a little piece for us. And in our heart, we can know that we don't have a huge boulder to move in our life, and we don't have a pebble in our shoe for our whole life, but there's some things we can work on. And what I love about the story of St. Stephen is that you really learn what he did is forgiveness is not after the fact. We always think of forgiveness as afterwards, but it's before. So I wanted to do this craft with you on painting stones with some codes because, we for years did love and faith and hope, and that's so important, and we were all about that. But I thought we would do some codes. So Kate, our amazing photographer, I'm going to do a little close-up here, and we have some stones that be for forgive. And there's another amazing thing here. In order to forgive beforehand, before someone's even done anything, you have compassion. And that's the word that enables us to forgive people ahead of time. So in the story, St. Stephen forgives all the people who hurt him. And there's a man in the crowd. He has no idea he would affect, but months later, that man who was so mean would open his heart to Jesus. So we don't always know when we forgive beforehand the consequences of love and the ripple effect, as Father Stephen and Father Mark talked about. So what I'd like you to do is all different ages. You can get paint pens. That took Miss Courtney a little bit of trouble calling 25 Sunday school families to find today, Truth in Advertising. So go in your backyard as Father Stephen did and get a rock, or you can do what Miss Courtney did and sort of steal it from Peacock Point, but I did ask the Davisons if I could take them, and so that was their contribution to this crafting session, which I'm very grateful for. So they're authentic Peacock Point rocks. So for the older kids, these are called chalk paintbrushes. They are amazing. You can figure out your codes of B for B4, compassion equals forgiveness. Just have fun with that. And a long time ago, there was something called a pet rock. I'm kind of ancient, and pet rocks are very popular. So what I thought for you is you could make your own rock and put it in a box. So you can buy these little boxes at Michael's, or I have some I could mail you. Or you could have a big box for a big, it's really how you want to do it. So I'd like you to make your pet rock and maybe put it by your bed and think of ways you can grow forgiveness and how you can forgive beforehand. So your pet rock, like here, this was the original 1975 pet rock. It has a nest and it has a box. So almost like since St. Stephen really is the spirit of Easter, the resurrection is all about St. Stephen, right? How the love of Jesus goes on and we can act it out. So you can have a muffin cup as your painted rock home. You can have Easter grass. I'm sure there's tons of that around. Or you can have feathers. And my famous wallpaper art You can wallpaper your box, right? And then for the children that are smaller with their parents, you can do a lion rock, because lions need a lot of courage and they have a lot of compassion, right? And it's a lot like Daniel in the lion's den. Jesus came out of that tomb just like Daniel did, right? So here we have little lion's mane, and you can paint, I lost my lion. Okay, well, this is how the first video for crafting goes. There's a lion I painted somewhere. Anyhow, all this will be on Google Classroom. You can follow all the directions. I'll give you exactly what you need. So the little ones, you can make a courageous lion, and you can make it, make them a little home. Kind of the tweens, all of you guys, we span many ages. And you can do sort of paint beautiful rocks. You can really give rocks to everyone in your family. And that kind of segues to Mr. Chris. I am so excited for Hymns with Mr. Chris, and he is going to teach you Rock of Ages, which is so fantastic. So I leave you there. Just go onto Google Classroom. We'll have everything you need to do this craft, and then go visit Mr. Chris, watch the family service, and we're just thrilled to have Google Classroom, and we can't wait to go on this road with you all with a stone in our hand, not a pebble in our feet. Bless you.